run viewers than me. That's actually insane. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, let's jump into this, guys. Bottom right-hand side, our blue Protoss player is Creator. Up against the red Terran. In the top left-hand side, it is SpeCial. Barracks on the way down in the main base. Getting this up and running, as you do see. Probe heading across towards the upper left-hand side. Getting across to see what's going to be going on. It's going to be heading up towards the main base here. Look to see what will happen in the next couple of moments. Well, an announcement for the tournament as well. Today's prize pool was $60 first place, $30 second place, and $10 as a participation prize. If you take part in these events, you can win prize money just by showing up and playing your series. Today, Maxed won the $10 participation prize. There's more reason for you guys to come and check out OSC events in the future, get involved, and win money even if you don't win games, just by showing up. Probe coming back down the bottom right. As you just see, the Nexus about to finish up here in a few moments' time. CC from SpeCial, and everything is looking pretty regular in the early few minutes. Now, we saw SpeCial play some TvP earlier. Interesting adjustment already here. SpeCial is not going to go for an SCV scout. So no SCV scout from SpeCial, as he will just go in towards that Marine Hellion opening. So he did this against Marsman, was able to kill a lot of probes in the end, so interested to see what happens with this in the next couple of moments as the reactor finishes up on the barracks. A couple of Marines are going to be starting on out, and the starport on the way up from SpeCial up in the main base. Mule is going to drop down, and just going to be seeing a gateway dropping into the main as well. Production continuing on that factory, as we'll see Marines and a Hellion able to grab one unit here off to the side. And it looks as though SpeCial is going to start pushing his way down toward the bottom right-hand side of the map. So, he'll start moving his way down over there. Blink on the way up at the moment from Creator. So there's no wall off here. There is no shield battery. And that generally means that this should go pretty well for SpeCial, but well, let's find out. He's going into Cloak Banshee behind it, scouted immediately by the hallucinated Phoenix. Here we go, the two Hellions. They get a good shot off there on both Stalker and Sentry, so that's a good little bit of combo, and that is a little bit of a lag spike. Looks as though it didn't affect the players too much, as probes will get around. A couple more of these Hellions getting some shots off. 4 workers killed here, make that 5, and 1 Hellion to get into the main. This Marine looking for a Stalker kill. Here's the issue, 2 more Hellions are about to show up. There's 1 Hellion in the main is still getting damage done, and the probes are going to stack now as they get pulled. Oh, they get blocked in by those Stalkers. That's incredible, actually, that actually happens. We get 1 more probe in the main base, but that will be it. 7 workers killed. Some good damage there by SpeCial. Now the Banshees start to come across the map, so away they go. Banshee heading down to the bottom side of the map, as we're going to be seeing a shield battery on the way up. A Raven on the way on the starport. 2 more barracks about to finish. Factory going to move over to the side. First Banshee is just going to, wait a moment or two. Did he go into Cloak? No, he cancels it because of the scout. So he cancels Cloak, goes into a Raven instead. And again, that blink is just about to finish up here. Did you see Banshee continuing to move forwards. The Stalkers are going to blink forwards. And they are going to be able to get that Banshee kill. So Banshee doesn't really do too much. And that's a nice little pick off there from Creator. SpeCial. Goes into Stimpack, Combat Shields, +1 attack. On the other side, a couple of gateways, +1 attack and armor. Charge all on the way down as well. Stim combat +1 attack on the way, charge +1/+1 on the way out as well on the other side. So again, set up into this at the moment. What happened in Armani versus Guru? Armani forfeited after map number 1. And you want when the new maps starting to drop? November 26th is the start of the new season. That's when the new maps will be coming. As you do see a few zealots warping on the right hand side. God damn it, my throat is just not playing any games I wanted to play today. Swear down. Alright, here we go. Push from SpeCial down to the bottom right hand side. A few Stalkers out the front. We do have Blink, of course, and well, Raven is up above as well. Raven's important in this, remember. That interference matrix can go a long way. Third base out to that right hand side. I think SpeCial actually likes that. I mean, he only has 1 tank, so the positioning, he can put that behind this little area here to kind of wall it off a little bit. There you go, Sim straight in. Anti-armor vessel is going to hit that Immortal and a lot of the units along with it. Zealots from the bottom side, though, so he's actually fighting the units that are not caught in the anti-armor, so it's actually a good defense from Creator. The flank from the bottom side worked well for him. Having charge up and running is obviously a great part of adding to the defense in this, and SpeCial will be turned around to a 3rd CC, which has finished building and which is now moving out into location. Let's get that 3rd base up and running. 4th Nexus on the way on the right hand side as well. 2 upgrades from Creator will start up. So again, I'm just pressing forwards here. Reinforcements from SpeCial goes for round 2, but I mean, as an anti-armor missile again, it's 1/1 upgrades out of Creator, so he has just an upgrade lead in this. Those Zealots are very tanky because of it, but I felt for a moment there those Widow Mines might have gotten quite a lot done, but actually there's a good pickup in the War Prism to minimize a lot of that splash damage, so it really stops SpeCial from doing too much again. And another good hold from Creator here, who transfers some probes off towards the 4th base already. Just continues to expand very quickly here while playing this gateway heavy style. 2 upgrades now over halfway done as well. Templar Archives finishing 4. Probably Archons initially here rather than could go Storm. Depends how much pressure SpeCial continues to apply. So another warp in of Zealots for the moment. No use of the Templar Archives yet. SpeCial will pull back. Defensively should be fine. How does Creator push through there? Well, you kind of just don't. But of course, Creator's up at base, so he doesn't mind playing just that little bit defensively if needed. It is going to be Storm. I think Creator knows, okay, I've pushed him all the way back. I've got the time to get, Storm up and running here, and it's getting to that point where I need to get a, where I need to get some sort of proper splash damage on the map. So he's getting that up and running. Let's move backwards and forwards here just a little bit. Extra Zealots are finishing up, and with the rest of this army heading out into the center on the bottom side. A Liberator of SpeCial going to be moving in toward the main base here soon. A command center building between the natural and the 3rd. Liberator's going to get in and siege up on top of those probes. That Stalker army gets turned away for the moment as well. It's going to go up this ramp into the natural. I mean, he's really committed to this. The Storm's available. First Storm is good. Widow Mines do okay against the Zealots. He'll lose +2 attack, so Creator will maintain a 1/1 upgrade advantage. Well, maybe he's still got +2 armor on the way SpeCial. His bio's doing okay here. There's no Storms left, but I think maybe just too many Zealots charging on forwards across the map. A lot of probes went down to that Liberator, but it seems like this army of Special is maybe just a bit too much. Sorry, this army of Courier is just a bit too much. And Special will have to type out GG. Alright, on the top left-hand side, our Red Terran player is SpeCial. Down a map here in this best of 3. Up against Creator, our Blue Cross, bottom right-hand side. As we get into Game 2 of this semi-final Creator and SpeCial today. That's actually turned out to be a nice little event in the end. We know we're coming up to the 3-hour marker. We are having the finals after this as well, of course. Early probe scout to try and see what's going to be going on over the next couple of moments. So probe heading up into the natural, up into the main. He's going to start nibbling away at this first SCV here. Reaper to start up. So getting that Reaper up and running. And they're ready to roll as we do see the Nexus dropping down. Cybernetics go on its way, and just this command center going to be harassed just slightly early on. This time it is the Reaper opening from SpeCial, so you will have that to scout. You will have that to try and see a little bit of what's going on, etc. Reaper is going to be missing that probe, so probe gets off away to the left and will be able to come in for a rescout here. You can see on the minimap it was already moving back towards the base, so we'll be looking just to reassess some information as the Reaper arrives into the natural. The Adept is here to grid it, and Reaper will try and run around that Adept. No luck so far. As the probe sees the Marine, and again just a little bit of info as a follow-up here. Just sees the bunker is building. Just a little bit more of a read you can make then. And of course the probe's still kept alive, which is nice as well. So I can still use that probe for something here along the way. For the moment we'll hide out over to the right hand side. The watchtower for a moment or so, and now the Adept just making its way up to the top side. We're going to try and push in to see what's going on. Let's Reaper into the main base as well. GSC wouldn't mind on the way out. Thank you so much, Whoosh, gifting out a sub to Death Raven. 476 gifted subs. Oh, damn, dude. Nearly at that big 500. That is crazy. Truly. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Welcome, Death Raven, to the Wardy Farmers. Who will see Adept going to be blocked as Depot's Rays. That's a good little block right there. Phoenix on the way out on the Stargate. Robot facility going to be finishing up in a moment or two. Phoenix flying up towards that main base. It gets turned around by the Viking. Robot being on the way out from the Creator, and now a Forge dropping down as well. And the Raven on the way from SpeCial, so he's setting up to potentially get aggressive again. Seen a lot of that Raven play from him today in the TvP. Well, not from him specifically, I guess. From some of the earlier Terrans we saw some Raven play as well, right? The Phoenix numbers have been increasing from Critter, so you will be able to harass with this and be able to put some damage out there. As the Mule goes down, the Widowmine connects, and the Marines Able to get some damage off. Phoenix does drop down. The SpeCial all the way down on the bottom side, and the Nexus about to finish up, and Probe's going to transfer over. She's able to grab a Marine at the front there, so able to get that. As you do see, 2 more barracks just on the way up. So there's a building. As you do see, Colossus starting to come out of the Robo facility. Stay in combat, +1 attack, all on the way, +1 armor on that forge. Another Viking shot hits a Phoenix there for a moment or two. A couple Marauders still left up by these barracks, and the Marines moving around themselves. Just very passive from SpeCial altogether. I mean, it's hard to be aggressive into Phoenix. If you go across the map, these Phoenix will chase you down, they'll shut down medevacs. It's just so frustrating, so you have to make sure you have a real good number of units before you push out against Phoenix, and at that point, if you're waiting for a real good number of units, you kind of need stim and combat shields to make it effective. That's another Widowmine shot that does bring the Phoenix low. That's a nice interception. Marines out on the left-hand side. Picks off one of the Phoenix as they head back down the left. Combat shields on the way out, +1 attack. Finishing shortly. So just a little bit of bio from SpeCial. Out over on that left-hand side, hallucination from Creator will start to head forwards, and the Marines be able to shoot that down. Like in the back of the main base, a few probes will get picked up. Phoenix will lift it though, and stim into the natural from SpeCial. He's going to get a couple of Zealots warping in right away. He can go up into the main base with this. He's going to get a Colossus as it pops, probably. Yeah, it's definitely a priority. He'll get the Robo to stop more Colossus too. Suddenly you're on one Colossus he has created, which isn't pretty at all, right, for the long term. Okay, so he's got a second Colossus off to the further left-hand side. He's going to get a cannon here, shield battery. Now he's going to lift and try and get out of there. What's he got? One medevac low, but it's going to survive, and he's even going to get that Phoenix nearly. Wow, great attack from SpeCial. Colossus, Robo facility, multiple Phoenix. What a way to play that out. And, well, 3rd CC just now morphing into an orbital behind it, but he's doing the damage to get away with what was a later 3rd CC in this. SpeCial looking very good here at the moment in game number 2, doing a lot of damage, putting himself into a good position, and perhaps right now even looking to put an end to this as Bio will unload on the left. Bio out in the center. Scan drops down, and here we go, the Bio pressing in. Already Colossus going to be taking some damage. The couple of shield batteries here will be good to defend though, and actually with the other Colossus coming over, SpeCial will be pushed away, so good hold from Creator. SpeCial maybe getting a little ahead of himself. Maybe needs to just slow that down a little bit. Slow that down, calm it down. Storm on the way up from Creator. Immortal about halfway done, +2 armor on the forge. Again, it's a little bit of bio. Continues down the left-hand side. Medevacs! Yeah, from SpeCial, gonna come through the center out to the bottom right. So there they go, boosting into the main base. Cannon's going to take quite a bit of damage here, so the bio is going to be able to get rid of that, and as the probes start to go down, he's going to be able to get the Twilight Council. There's just so much tech denial in this game. These drops are just consistently doing so much. At the same time, main army of Creator arguably is chasing away this push on the left-hand side. Phoenix still chasing these medevacs as they are going to run out of boost in a moment, but I think they get all the way to the 3rd base at least. So is just a huge distance away from anything else. Feedback goes down, but he actually splits his damage. The Phoenix targeted the higher health medevac post feedback, which is a bit of a shame too. Creator ends up being pushed away on the left-hand side, that push that was moving up the map. He's just getting dropped all over the place. It's so hard for him to stabilize here. building the Void Ray because I guess he just wants something more persistent against those medevacs, but I mean, I'm not convinced. He's down 22 probes. He's in a real tough spot. The one thing Creator maybe has going for him is if he just moves across the map now. You know, SpeCial did lose quite a lot of units in this attack, and I feel like Creator just has to go. I know his army's not great, it's only 2 Colossus, but what do you gain by waiting in this game where you're down heavily in workers, upgrades are delayed? Like, I just don't feel sitting back does anything for Creator here. And, you know, just give SpeCial a chance to really get back into this. I don't necessarily think an attack across the map would work, but surely it's got a higher chance of working than just sitting back and letting SpeCial work off of such a high economy. Void Ray was starting to be produced, gone powered by the way, and the Stargate never repowered until now still. Single Marine going to go 7 forwards and is going to go after a probe there, so we'll be able to pick up a kill, and a couple of units from Creator coming over. Marine will go down. SpeCial again, a bit of a larger push. This time he's got Vikings in tow as well, so he will have a bit of a response to Colossus. Disruptors in production from Creator, so getting himself to that point where he'll be able to add the Disruptors in, of course, for some extra splash. There's a couple of EMPs down from the Ghost. The entire Protoss army gets EMP'd here. And as the Vikings get rid of the Colossus, they could land to buffer a little bit if they'd like to. There's a couple of Immortals in the front. Looks like they're going to go to the main, or at least the high ground, where they can hit the probes from the high ground position. In fact, he's just going to drop in the main as a follow-up here. It's still kind of close. Like, again, imagine Creator maybe attacked himself. I guess he had no wall prism, right? Is maybe the biggest issue. Yeah, maybe it wouldn't have worked out. Stands, I mean, SpeCial is still trying to deal damage with these units and is getting good value. Viking blocks and tanks for a while now. A Disruptor gets shot down. That Disruptor shot misses everything. And SpeCial is running units down the left side of the map as he's going to go back towards their base. But actually, Stalkers will pick off a full medevac here. Was that the Ghosts? It was most of the Ghosts. Attack on the left side, couple Zealots initially, now a Disruptor on its way over. Let's see what this Disruptor can do. It shoots, it will connect on a good few Marines. Somehow Creator is still holding on to this. Down 16 workers, he's going to clean up another little bit of bio army here. Wow. Now maybe Creator should go. I don't know, I keep saying he should go, but actually just defending has worked out well enough for him at the moment. Advanced Ballistics on the way out, +3 attack on the Engineering Bay. 2 more Archons going to be morphing in over on this right side as well, so a lot of setup at the moment. This Creator just rebuilding Colossus. He does go into +3/+2, so his upgrades are still good. I mean, again, it's just the fact, you know, Liberate just coming in there. Tech is improving from SpeCial as well. And obviously SpeCial's just on such a good economy, right? So just still debating how much Creator gets out of just sort of sitting back here and hanging out more than anything. But at the same time, like I say, I'm not sure an attack really works out either with how good the defenses have been. I'm not surprised that he actually just continues to try and defend. Liberator comes around the bottom. Heading in, is going to turn around. He's going to siege up on this base. A little bit of bio in the center. Six probes go down, and Army of Creator continues to gather on up. SpeCial down at the bottom. Trying to see what we can do. 4 more Liberators on the way. 3 more command centers building. Go, especially now with the Liberator support. It's going to make this much more difficult breakthrough for Creator. Using the Disruptors to try and zone back some bio. These Liberators just siege up from so far away. It's crazy that they're covering that left-hand side of the base. I think you got to go for it. The Bio did make a bit of a move back. Stalkers will blink in. The Archons in the front have some work to be done. Honestly, the Liberators are going down pretty quickly at the start of this. And, well, the Colossus count is surviving as well. The Colossus are doing a lot of damage. Just a couple of Liberators left that are going to go down. Oh my god, Creator is going to hold again. SpeCial has a lot of money to spend, but this is crazy. Creator, hold after hold. And he's going to equal up the army supply once more. He cleaned out a lot of the tech units here, remember. He cleaned out pretty much all the Liberators. I mean, it cost him a lot of units as well. It's crazy. Well, you see next result also being brought in. A couple more Archons getting set to go. SpeCial is up to 5 bases, but so is Creator, so Creator's really done a good job of hanging in this game. Look at the resources lost. It's actually surprisingly even. You look at the army size here, you can see it in action that each of these trades, SpeCial's not really being like massively ahead of an army supply, you know, for like 7-ish minutes. Creator's just taking good fights, and when it comes to the income, you can just see as well SpeCial has been mining a lot more, but now Creator's starting to stabilize on 5 bases. It's looking a little better for him. EMP lands on a few units up on that high ground, and that's the issue. It still feels like SpeCial's army can just trade so well. There is an army around the right though from Creator. That flank in the earlier game saved him a little bit, and Nuke's gonna try and land on this Nexus. Not even sure where that ghost is at the moment. It's just right there, cloaked up. There's no detection. Creator sees the nuke coming down. He did move his probes away. He's going to chase in here. These Liberators were unsieging. As the Stalkers blink forwards, they'll not get any of those kills ahead of time. Good save by Creator. Good defense against the nuke as well. Good response. Don't see nukes every day in TvP, so it's not something the pros players have to prepare against all the time. Good to see he was on top of that. 18 minutes in play, and Alzard's going to go charging in again. The Colossus firing away, and as the Stalkers blink forwards, a couple of Liberators will start to go down. The Colossus are the only things left in Liberation range though, so they're going to start dying. This Creator takes another fight to break on through. And now up this ramp, can he take down a Planetary Force? Does he have the numbers to take down a Planetary Force? I mean, there goes a blink that was not on top of the Liberators. Instead, it was kind of in front of them, and that does hurt. More destructive shots going in, but they won't really find much, and now they will have to turn around these units, because what else is there? Well, the Warp Prism tries to warp in, but it's not going to be enough. Creator has just lost a little bit too much there in spec one. As we start off in the bottom right-hand side, our red Terran player, it is SpeCial. Taking on the blue Protoss in the top left-hand side, Creator. Game 1 of this best of 3. Let's see what's going to happen as we get this ready to roll. Because in this final map, it's not game 1, it's game 3. 1-1 tied up. I wonder if this goes up against Guru in today's finals. That'll be a best of 5, starting up pretty much straight after this wraps up. 3 hours into the tournament, 1 map away from the finals. It's been a good little day of the OSC Community Open. Hopefully you guys have all been enjoying, especially this last game or two. It's been quite exciting. Max coming in at the front, as we are going to be seeing. That's the little bit of harassment early game probe on SCV. SpeCial just consistently not scouting against Creator, so it puts into perspective that possibility that Creator could maybe play a bit more aggressive. Obviously Creator is not choosing to do so here, but it's something you got to read into when you choose not to scout like this multiple games in a row. In a series especially, it gives Creator that opportunity to maybe say, okay, well, if you're going to keep doing that, I'm going to you know, come in and respond to that, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to try and punish your greed of keeping your SCVs mining minerals, etc. It's going to be that Reaper opening again. So moving away from that Marine Hellion opener we saw him do against Marsman, which he did in game number 1 here against Creator. Just to stick to the normal Reaper opener, and he's had a couple different ways to open with that Reaper. Keep an eye on what it's going to be this time around, usually resulting in a pretty powerful mid-game or so, though. Let's get set up, ready to roll. Adepts, Chrono boosting out here, Twilight Council dropping down in the main base. The main here, as the Adept is going to be able to turn that Reaper around. Twilight Counselor's up in the back, and ooh, Reaper took a shot there. He has already seen the Twilight, so he'd just like to confirm that it's not being cancelled, and he does get to confirm it's started and an upgrade going. Reaper will die. But the Reaper's doing its job, it's scouted out that tech choice. I mean, it's too late now to cancel Blinking, to change it into something else, right? And you're just going to be, whatever you do is just going to be so delayed, so... I think it's the kind of thing that's not going to end the world either for, you know, once you figure out that it's coming. It's not going to be like, oh my god, what am I going to do? And it just means that it's just like, you know, it's just a macro opener. You don't have to catch you up on off guard or anything like that. As you do just see a few Marines in that bunker here in this probe of Creator. Gonna start moving out as well. So that's just going to go into the Cloak Banshees now. He did this in game number 1, but he got scouted by a hallucination, so he gave it up pretty quickly. He made one Banshee and cancelled the Cloak. We'll see if he wants to do something here again. So tank on the way, Banshee on the way, Cloak on the way up. Even just a straight up aggressive attack with like Marine Tank Banshee, try and bunker up somewhere out the front of the natural. Tell you what, it could work very well with this Robo being in the front. That's a very exposed position. We could bunker up towards the third initially, like bunker, 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 kill the third, bunker, bunker, bunker towards the nat. Depends how slow a push you want to go for. But no, there is still no real add-ons. I mean, there's a second rack sub, so we're going to see Stimpack shortly. But for the moment, it's still just waiting for something else. Oh, he goes Combat Shield. So with Combat Shields, it is going to be aggressive, and it is going to be Marine Tank Banshee. Combat Shields finishes A before Stimpack, so it's a little bit of a faster upgrade. So it hits into the game sooner. B, obviously, it just increases Marine health. So while Stimpack takes away Marine health and makes them damage more, Combat Shields doesn't really need the support of Medivacs to make it work beneficially. And in that regard, in that scenario, you're basically put into a position here where, you know, the Combat Shields are just much better for these kind of pushes where you don't have Medivacs online, you don't have those in play right from the start. As well, no sign of detection for the Cloak Banshee. I mean, there is observers up, but it's across the map, so this Robo is not in a great spot at all, as the Banshee will start to deal some damage, and well, guess what's being recalled? That will be Mr. Observer, as the Banshee will head into the main. No shield battery there either, though, just yet. As this Banshee in the third base too, already getting kills, and now the main attack coming in. That third base is in a lot of trouble when it comes to that main attack, I can tell you that much. Because this third is just, I mean, it's just going to get knocked down, right? And then the question becomes, can Creator at least hold on to the natural? Still no upgrades in play, 1-1 just finishing soon. This Banshee over here, moving away now. 12 workers killed, by the way, overall from SpeCial, and I think he's just happy. Killed 12 workers, killed a third base. From there, he's just going to back off, go home, and play it out. So SpeCial pulling back down to the bottom side of the map. These tanks will get sieged behind that bunker, so sieging behind the bunker, just going to see some Stalkers still moving around a little bit as well. Cloak Banshee back into the natural. I mean, this is Cloak Banshee number... Is this still number 1? Yeah, it's one of the first Cloak Banshees. It's just back again. And it's just coming in for even more probe damage and created. I mean, pulls the probes away, but still 4 probes. I mean, it's a lot of lost mining time. Didn't move his units towards this. His Stalkers are just so far out of position. This Banshee will commit in. We'll get just one more worker. Didn't find the target fighter, get 2, which is a slight shame. Army of Creator moving out into the center. Plus 1 attack, armor stim, concussive shells, all on the way out. Nice playing forwards to pick off a marine as well. And here we go, Creator on the offensive, down to 37 probes. He's so far behind in economy. He has to be really careful with what he decides to do here. He has 1-1 upgrades, but that advantage is going to disappear shortly. 1-1, 25 seconds, 35 seconds away from SpeCial. I mean, at this point, SpeCial could start dropping. He sees the 3rd base just starting, and that's a big sign as to how far ahead he is. Such a late 3rd. Stalkers on the left-hand side, maybe trying to catch drops moving out onto the map. It's not a bad idea, right? It's that sort of stage you scan the 3rd, you're like, oh, nothing there. Well, it's like, I'll send a drop out to pressure. I don't mind the few Stalkers being around the left here rather than with the rest of the army already. They're just looking for opportunities. They brought a medevac low. No damage on that Raven, which would be nice as well. Creator's going to go for it. The couple of tanks were not sieged up right away, so he loses 1 immediately. 2 Interference Matrixes on the Immortals, though. So they're not going to do much either, as there's going to be a recall there, but that's actually only going to take some of the units. There was a few Zealots, 2 Zealots, a Sentry, and a Adept left behind. I feel like Creator just got out of a big spot above it. I feel like that was not going to go well for him any way, shape, or form. Let's see, we go SpeCial now pushing to the top left-hand side once again. That said, SpeCial's numbers are looking good. As you see the buyer pressing in, and he's going to try and get the Raven here, and he just doesn't get it as he blinks away. SpeCial might just win the game with this continued push forwards. Raven drop 1, maybe anti-armor missile, maybe a Matrix. It's not going to take much to break through this, though. That's what I'm trying to say. And there it is. There'll be an anti-armor missile. It's going to hit the Zealots. That's going to be disastrous, because the Zealots are forced to fight to defend this base. And as this base comes up, there you go. SpeCial's going to take this down 2-1. Great play from him to take this series against Creator and move to the finals.